Welcome into Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the only podcast on the Marshland Media Network dedicated to episode by even Lucha Underground. I'm one of your co-hosts, James, and as always, I'm joined by...
What the fuck is happening right now?
I think you mean what the fudge is happening right now, you piece of crud.
I forgot how much I swear. I was so taken aback by you taking the lead on this one. I'm Sean. I'm the other co-host. Hello.
Today we are discussing episode 19 of season 2 of Lucha Underground entitled
Judgment Day. Why am I not taking the lead on this one?
I wanted to throw you off, make you curved a little, curbed your enthusiasm for it's a James episode.
Why are you Larry Daviding me on this, the James episode?
Oh man, every single episode will have the same exact story. That's one that we could do on Formulaic and the League. Boy, oh boy, are those formulaic. They have the same exact plot structure every single episode to the point where you're like, I think I can predict how this episode will end. And guess what? You can.
Yeah, and I was watching American Fiction, which is a movie that came out this year based on the novel Erasure. Really good movie. Fucking loved the shit out of it. It's definitely a movie, I think, because it leans into it's about storytelling and it becomes kind of meta and satirical. So it becomes very formulaic, but it's so satisfying when those formula pieces get dropped. Ugh, I don't know. You two white people should do American Fiction on formulaic.
Is this a story of people of color, I'm assuming? That's why you said white people?
Oh, yeah. It's a big Oscar. I thought it's a big Oscar movie.
You think I pay attention to Oscar movies?
Yeah, movies by Oscar Pistorius.
No,
okay.
Last night we watched House from 1970-something. That's this we'll talk more about it. I'm mostly speaking Sentai, which it's a wild movie. It's a Japanese movie, fantastic. It makes you feel like you're literally in a dream. It is wild. And then double featured that with Troll 2. So those are the movies I'm looking for.
Well, you know what? We're all looking for Troll 2, just like we're all looking for a little bit of judgment in our lives. Or all right, I'm just going to say Judgment. I thought I had something clever after that.
Or a little bit of Havoc.
Whoa, a little bit of Sun.
Come on, man. We are pressed for time.
You don't want more sons in your life? Okay, it's cool. I'm going down to the adoption factory.
Oh, okay. What is this, Tatooine? We got 3 moons and 2 suns?
See, it was there. It was there the whole time.
No, it wasn't.
I'm convinced that if I throw enough words, they don't have to even be different words, but if I throw enough sounds, eventually James will come up with some sort of wordplay, some sort of pun, and then we'll smoothly transition to the next segment of this show.
Well, yes, you could say literally anything, and I will go with it. However, not today. It needs to, once we get to an hour 5, it doesn't matter how deep into this Cage v. Matanza match I am. I'm going to say, hey, plugs, patreon.com/MLM pod.
No, you got a super busy day full of podcasts. So we pushed our recording time up. I forgot how much daylight savings was coming. Also, it's a weird thing. I tried to game with my brothers back home in Buffalo. We'll link up over Fortnite and, talk about our lives and play Fortnite. And I hadn't done it for a while. So it was a lot to link up on Fortnite and get through this episode. It's an amazing episode.
You want to know what? I'm taking charge this episode. It was apropos. You're all groggy, daylight saving. Guess what? I got super stoned, did a double feature of 2 weird movies and passed out last night. I'm rested, baby. I ate a total of, I think, 7 hot dogs yesterday.
James, that's so many hot dogs.
Nicole said, I'm starting to worry about how much processed meat you're consuming. And I'll say, I'll process this meat. And then I pointed at Henry and she said, no. I was holding him over a food processor.
Oh my gosh.
He was having a blast. You should have heard how hard he was purring.
Well, you know what? Okay.
So we start off in the desk, in the temple. Yeah, inside the desk because, oh my God, those ding-dang mannequins are underneath just filleting the champ.
Stop. We are at the desk. Vampiro in his stunning red shirt. Striker in the leather jacket. Because we don't even have a pre-desk segment. We're moving this one along. We have a trios title discrepancy between the champs last week and the champs this week. Yeah. And Matanza is defending the title against the Machine Cage.
I have some inside info on that match too.
I've seen that inside info. We got 3 matches on the card tonight. The 2 we just mentioned, and this first one coming up right here, Son of Havoc versus Daga.
Oh my God, I'm like, yes, 2 of my faves. We've only seen Daga a couple times, and he's already skyrocketed.
He's pretty cool. You're hot on Daga.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it seems like the world is. Vampiro is super hot on Daga. Meanwhile, Son of Havoc, alone again for the first time, on a card where the Odd Thruples Championships, those trio titles that they founded, they established, they're being fought for by 2 different teams. Neither the Odd Thruple.
Neither.
And one of them has Rey freaking Mysterio.
Oh, yeah.
And also tonight, he's taking on this hard-hitting and like much ballyhooed newcomer of Daga. It's a very interesting point. I think it's the first time... Abby, the first time Son of Havoc is going to be wrestling like singles like this.
Oh, yeah,
without any
such a long time.
Yeah, and it's going to be against the new guy. That's my favorite part of that. It's against the new guy that everyone's talking about.
And this might be the first time ever that he's wrestled with Ivelisse.
Yeah, I feel like you might be right. Except for like outside of like times where they were feuding with Angelico. No, she would come out.
Yeah, or like one of them would be the ref or something. Like I think they've always kind of been on screen at the same time.
It's a brand new day in the temple here. It's season 2, episode 19.
Oh my God, Kofi Kingston's there, Big E.
Yep. Xavier Woods himself. Daga grinds out with Son of Havoc, who eventually head scissors Daga out of the ring. There is a slight advantage to Son of Havoc here, but it's wild to see how pushed Daga is as soon as he enters the temple.
And by that you mean pushed into greatness?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Pushed to the top of the card is usually how that phrase is referred to.
Okay, I was afraid people backstage are pushing him, saying like, get out of here, dweeb.
They better. Mark Burnett, the producer and creator of Survivor, who's also an executive producer on this show, if you were pushing and bullying Sweet Daga, you're gonna have a sack of mashed potatoes to deal with, and it's coming from me, baby.
I know he would always, going into the locker room, would have a plate like fashioned to the bottom of his nose, and he would just like sprinkle caviar because he's like, I don't want to smell these nasty men. Please, I need delicacies.
Mark Burnett, you fancy bastard. Also, the bag of mashed potatoes, if this is your first episode, is not a metaphor or innuendo. It is an actual bag of mashed potatoes. It's not my ball sack. And I want to be very clear, this is too classy a show for that.
Did you bring up the mashed potatoes recently on this episode?
Literally just now, I said I was going to smash anyone who pushes Daga backstage with a bag of mashed potatoes.
All right. I was like, I think your brain went bad.
It might. The scariest part is we won't know until you edit.
I trust you. I trust you.
I don't, but thank you. I appreciate it. They're outside of the ring. Daga's fighting. He gets pushed into the ring corner, and Havoc lands the parallel elbow, which is such a cool move. Always exciting to see.
It's that junior Olympian in him.
Oh, yeah, and it puts that junior Olympian in me. Junior Olympic at smacking you in the face with a bag of mashed potatoes. It's not a very popular event.
Oh, it's horrendous. It sucks money from the Olympic board, which is fine, but still.
We're not out here to do it for money. We're out here to do it for the feeling of killing someone with a bag of mashed potatoes. Matches are to the death.
Which is so hard to do.
I thought you were going to say hardcore, and I was going to say thank you.
No, I mean, it is. If you actually achieve that goal, it's usually just whoever gets tuckered out first loses. But
wait, well, because other weapons are involved, so as soon as you get tuckered out, the other guy just stabs you.
Oh, the other weapons are involved?
Yeah, technically there are no rules against other weapons, but like, no, you know, it's a bag of mashed potato fight.
Whoa, I didn't know this was a no DQ Olympic match.
Yeah. It's...
Except unless you piss and marijuana shows up. That gets you DQ'd still.
Absolutely. We will not accept performance-enhancing drugs like marijuana. Get the fuck out. Steroids are encouraged. Marijuana, get the fuck out.
I mean, if we're talking junior Olympians, then yes, actually marijuana should be ruled out because it's still illegal for a child to do them.
Yes. All right. We do not encourage giving marijuana to all children. I'll say all children.
Yeah, there are purposes for, like seizures, THC will help.
Yeah. And like not medically, sometimes you just see a really sad or angry kid and you're like, you need a fucking doobie. Legally, I can't say that, but like, here you go.
Okay, from experience as a 12-year-old who did marijuana, it changed my life. I just, a few times it made me not a rage-filled child. There's no other reasoning for it. It might have or maybe, I don't know, maybe my mind was just clearer and then I'm like, this weight that's always on my head, I think that's what they call depression. So I don't know if that, it had to swap out the rage. It's either I'm an angry person or I'm a depressed person, and I'd much rather be a depressed person.
Hell yeah, bud. I'm just glad you're a person, if I may.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm a person.
Thank you. Wait, why did you say it like that?
Moving on. Bodo's minted.
Back in the ring, Son of Havoc controls the sky, scores a 2 off his shooting star press. Daga starts firing up, catches with this fucking thing. Wrestling podcasts are hard, okay? Because sometimes Daga does this move, and it's not a Blue Thunder Bomb. Because like a Blue Thunder Bomb, he'll spin you around. Daga flips Son of Havoc over his head into a power bomb, or a Blue Thunder Bomb. What the fuck did you call that?
A modified Blue Thunder Bomb.
Kind of, but what do you want from us, Daga? My lunch money? Let me know. I will send it to you. Thank you for doing this move. It was beautiful. I was stunned.
Daga would hate my lunch money because I spend about less than $2 every lunch.
Hell yeah.
That's nothing.
That's how you get them. Hey, be thrifty, thwart bullies.
Oh.
Yeah. Daga is starting to dictate the match now, strong style. Havoc fires up until Daga locks in this tricky hammerlock and half Boston Crab combo. It's strong style and very technical and still very tricky. Still a lot of like complicated maneuvers that all lead up to a really painful looking stuff. I love it.
Speaking of strong, Vampiro or Striker, whoever, they say, oh, wow, Daga is finally showing personality. The other one says, or I would say more so, they're displaying strong character assets, which just equals, I'm assuming, hard to deal with. I know. I've seen some card sharks out there that have some strong character assets. Wait, because they're hard to deal with. That was the wordplay I was going off. But strong character assets are also Barrett from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
His muscles I'm talking about.
He's so big and he's fucking jacked as hell. It's weird when I thought you were going to say strong buns. And then when you said, what was it, hard assets? I thought you were going to say hard buns. And then hard ass came out and I was like, I was close. And then you said it's. I was like, oh, no, that makes more sense.
Well, no, I said strong character assets, which means they're hard to deal with. We're all conflating each other's speech. We're dyslexic today.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week. I promise I'll stop thinking about buns in 5 seconds.
Also, Vampiro, is it Havoc or the believers who look like pets you want to bring home? He says this, but he doesn't clarify is it the people in the crowd that Havoc is interacting with, or is it Havoc himself?
I missed this one. What is Vampiro doing?
I don't know.
I'm just happy. You know what, Vampiro? I'm just glad you're doing it. Whatever you're doing, I'm glad you're doing it.
He's doing it.
Hell yeah. And hey, speaking of, what is Cobra Moon doing? Cobra Moon appears at the top of the steps, starts slithering down them yet like a young snake in love, horned by Daga. We saw last week in their match, Cobra Moon like falling in love with Daga, handing him the win, and Daga last week wanting nothing to do with her. This week doesn't even seem to notice her as she like comes to ringside.
If Lucha Underground was still going on and Cobra Moon were a character, during this time as a tie-in, she'd be Cobra Dune, where she's dressed in like Dune-looking outfits, but she's like a giant sand snake.
And I don't even dislike Dune like that. I just dislike corporate tie-in, so...
I love them.
I'm so glad this company went dead.
It's like that Sonic annual where it's just like Sonic hanging out with image characters from the mid-2000s.
Yeah, but like, yeah, that's still weird. I don't know why that feels less corporate schlock to me than Cobra Dune.
I guess because Archie's and Image are technically independent companies. They're not like publicly traded from my knowledge, but I could think when Spider-Man's hanging out with Batman, that's cool.
Hell yeah. But when Spider-Man's hanging out with Jay Leno,
even better.
Yeah.
Because he's hanging out as Crimson Chin, his character from Fairly Odd Parents, baby. Thwip, thwip.
Let's go. Spider-Man learning how to not spend any of that there at Tonight Show money.
You could have said his Daily Bugle money.
Yeah, but I chose not to.
Dang it.
Son of Havoc turns back to the skies. He's flying around here, doing all sorts of stuff. Daga recovers, escapes ringside, while Cobra gawks at him. She's wearing like a snake leather jacket, and then under like a Sandy from Grease final scene costume change. She looks good. That's all I gotta say about it.
Hey, Sandy.
She looks great. She looks great.
Yeah, she looks great. It's me. What's my name again?
Oh boy, John Travolta. Is that you? Oh, the character? Danny Zuko?
Yeah, I thought it was it's Danny Zuko. I love Sandy.
But you have like a little fire scar over your eye, so you're Danny Zuko?
Oh, is that Avatar? I fucking hate that show.
Oh, no.
It's bad. I truly don't understand why people are so obsessed with it. Like, they're obsessed as with I Am as Sandy.
Danny Zuko, get the fuck out of here. I was so excited to meet a brand new character. And now we have different opinions on a TV show?
What we both don't have different varying opinions on is like pussy wagons, am I right?
Okay. Wow. I really thought you were gonna appeal to my heartstrings. Instead, you appealed to my pussy strings. Get the fuck out of here, Danny Zuko.
See you later. I gotta go race for pinks. And I am talking about vagina.
Get the fuck out of here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We are crunched for time.
We are. Havoc catches Daga with the Suicida. Crowd picks up on that to the dive on the outside. Havoc to the top. Cobra interferes, grabs Havoc leg. Daga capitalizes, may not have even seen Cobra though. There's a Daga's looking for a superplex from the top. Instead, he gets countered by an avalanche gourd buster. Son of Havoc's shooting star press, I forgot this, wins fucking matches. So Son of Havoc wins the match, beats Daga. After the match, Cobra just wants to love this man. Daga wants no part of that.
This angle is making me feel a little yucky right now.
I wrote, I don't understand Daga's motivations.
I don't understand her motivations.
But at least if it even was just, I am in love with him, or I am trying to convince him to love me because I have some secret motivation. Okay, I could at least see that. Daga's just like ill gross, which but why? So again, Cobra Moon, if you're not super familiar, is Thunder Rosa today. And if you're not familiar with Thunder Rosa, in addition to being like one of my favorite wrestlers, those Britt Baker matches are insane. She's fucking beautiful.
Okay. I think I get it. You know how some stand-ups will say, hey, I don't date other comics? Maybe Daga's like, I don't date other wrestlers. I've told Cobra Moon this before. I don't date wrestlers. And now she's overstepping boundaries. I've told her this multiple occasions. I have screenshots from Snapchat.
Oh, man. If, like, that's what they were doing, great. I guess it's kind of nice to be met with an angle I don't. As of right now, I'm like, what are we doing? I'm not enjoying this. It's nice to be presented with, hey, wrestling can be bad sometimes.
I truly hope it's just, I don't date other wrestlers.
I hope it's that simple. I have a feeling it won't be, and it will be yucky. I don't know. We don't know.
And then he shows up with like an accountant that he's dating, and Cobra Moon just like DDTs her.
Does she ever speak, or is? Because I don't think she's spoken yet. I think she's just made snake sounds.
And when that happens, like, Stryker's like, shit, taxes are due and she's my accountant. No, Cobra Moon, you royally screwed me. Then, like, Ray, Prince Puma, and Dragon Azteca show up, and he's like, not you, Royals. And Lord shows up, and he's like, not you, Royals. And then the Royals, you know, the baseball team shows up.
Sure.
No, actually, all of you guys can stay. We'll, like, say, hey, and the entire Royals are here. Hey, guys, Lucha Underground. Mark Burnett brought us.
Oh, it's a cross promotion.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Those things sell like hotcakes. You ever see Sonic and Spawn?
Oh, dude, they're so cool together. They start making out. It's so hot. I understand why people want those comic books now.
So maybe that's what they'll do with Cobra Moon.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. We cut to the gym where Ray is throwing hands on the heavy bag. Dragon Azteca Jr. has found the cell of Matanza, and he's gonna fucking destroy him. Ray advises him to stay focused on the rematch for the Trios Championships instead. That's coming up tonight. They argue what their master, Dragon Azteca Sr., would have wanted, and Dragon Azteca Jr. snipes back, well, how would you know? You haven't spoken to him in years. And he gets that finger in Ray's face. Ooh. Ray slaps the finger away, combos the heavy bag, and then catches Dragon's hand getting too close again, and gives him the tisk tisk tisk. But also, why did he have to combo the heavy bag first?
Because that's what he's doing. He's training.
It's just, it keeps coming up in this segment. Just before Ray does anything, he just has to combo the heavy bag, and then he gets back to you. Whereas if you like ask, like if this was the accountant's office, and you came up to Ray and you're like, hey, we're going to need those files by the end of the day. How are they looking? Could we get at least like the first half of those? You were like, well, as soon as I combo, finish my coffee, I should be able to get them to you. Like, it's weird. It's weird to not just do the thing you're doing and having to combo the heavy bag before you do.
No, here's a better example, guys, like a real life example of this. Nicole is working. She's focused. She's at her computer. She's making artwork. And then I run in and say, hey, Nicole, can I talk real quick? Can I show you something I learned? And she's like, yeah. She turns around in her chair to look towards the doorway. I say, look at what I can do with my thumb. And then she's like, is that all? And I go, yeah. And then she just turns around and I say, oh, wait, there's one more thing. And then Nicole's just still working and she says, what is it? And then I say, well, you have to look at it first. Like, you have to turn around. And she's like, okay. And then she turns around as she's still typing. And then I go, I just love you. And then I kiss her on the head. And then she turns back around.
All right. Yeah, it's like that.
Oh, and I was removing my thumb. That's the trick I was doing. Sean, I'm pretty good at it. I once terrified a child by doing it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, they thought it was so real that I was actually removing my finger.
Yeah, I'm glad children are scared in this world.
I said, you stupid ass, this is an illusion. Just like Christ is, just like Santa, just like the Easter Bunny and the biologics that those are your parents.
Jesus, and you gave him the Maury ending? Wow. Why were you so mean to this kid? What was he, Jason fucking Todd? By the way, Jason Todd, if you're listening to this episode, get absolutely wrecked, you little shit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jason Voorhees, because guess what? That's right. I went back in time and kind of dominated that kid. That's a kid who should be thrown in a Dominator, I'll tell you.
He kind of was by the water pressure in Crystal Lake. Like, I feel like he was put in an emotional Dominator by being ignored while he drowned to death until he died.
And then via the Necronomicon.
Now, hold on a minute. Why didn't they do... We have to get through this episode. We're pressed for time.
No, real quick, the Necronomicon is in Jason Part 9. Like, it's there. And then, to tie that in, there is a comic book called Jason versus Freddy versus Ash, and it rules.
Hell yeah. Trios Championship match. Thank you.
Yeah.
Trios Championship match. It's the rematch from last week. The former champions, Dragon Azteca Jr., Prince Puma, and Rey Mysterio Jr., the superheroes of Lucha, versus Jack Evans, Darewolf PJ Black, and Johnny Mundo with Taya. Also, everyone is wearing matching headbands and sunglasses. Except for Taya.
Speaking of which, rank these head dressings, like these performative heads.
Okay.
Dragon Azteca, Prince Puma, King Cuerno.
Ooh. Quick off the top, I'm going to say Cuerno number 1. I'm going to say Azteca 2. I'm going to say Puma 3.
Oh, I'm saying Puma, Cuerno, Azteca. I think Azteca's, it looks, if you were to watch Deca Ranger and then you were to watch Power Rangers SPD, he looks like the Deca Ranger version of Doggy Kruger, and then like everyone else is like that professional ass SPD one.
Okay, yeah. To me, it's a little more cartoonish, which it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I don't dislike dragons, but Cuernos and Pumas are just, like, very iconic.
Yeah.
We get these fucking guys wearing the matching headbands, though, with his sunglasses. They're evil goobers, and I love them. Quote from Vampiro. PJ Black and Jack Evans are like jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. That's how you gotta live life, baby. Just close your eyes and swing for the fences, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking love Vampiro. If anyone, there are some people out there that thinks Vampiro is not great at commentary, and I respectfully hard disagree.
Yeah, he's fun.
Hard on his sleeve, fun as hell. Sometimes, and that's just it. You gotta close your eyes, swing for the fences, baby kid.
And he comes with such great lore and history. It's nice.
Oh yeah, no, and he loves it. Like he just loves it. And I'm always excited to watch people love the thing they're doing. And I love this. I love how this match starts with PJ and Rey, Mysterio Jr. They're in the ring. PJ puts his matching Johnny sunglasses on the ref before just getting disrespectful to the king.
Uh-huh.
It is brutal. Rey eventually slows him down with just like a punch to the face and a kneeling to Harris, where it's like the head scissors, but instead of him flipping on his back, he just his opponent lands on his head, and it's mean as hell. I keep saying it in different ways, but at the time, seeing Rey work stiff after working a WWE product style, it's neat.
Like Sean likes his apple martinis.
You're goddamn right. Or I like my The Damned songs ×3.
Stiff, stiff, stiff?
Neat.
Oh, wait, no, you said you can get a drink stiff, right?
You can't get a drink stiff.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Well, I also said the word neat, and that's what I thought you were saying, because neat can also be how you order a drink.
Oh, I guess, yeah, you're right. You're right. We're mixing up words just like a mixer at a party.
That's right. Even if the jokes aren't funny, they'll still be clever.
Yeah. I mean, it's wordplay. We're humorous guys. We're not comedians.
Comedians. Exactly.
Guys, there was a part where I was like, holy shit, the crowd they were booing the collective, these 4 people coming down. But then we start getting PJ chants in the middle of this match versus Mysterio. Then it pans over and it's just Jack Evans and Mundo cheering for PJ, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
These fucking, like truly from the bottom of my heart when I say I'm so happy these 3 got together and they're doing the weird bullshit that they're doing. Like, I don't love, and I'm glad they're not going full, like, these 2 are Johnny Mundo clones.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I don't know if I want to see them wearing matching sunglasses every week just because those sunglasses specifically are such a Johnny thing, but I love that they're together. I love that they're gassing each other up and gaslighting each other up. Like, it's important to remember they are evil. Like, they're not just like bad guys. They are downright shit heels. But they're just so goofy. It's hard, and they're so campy with how evil they truly are.
I hope one day they do a montage of them like turning around, then turning back, and all of a sudden they have sunglasses on, and it's a focus on Mundo, then on Evans, then on PJ. So then I can make an edit where it's then Art the Clown in that costume store when he turns around and has those like flower sunglasses on.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I want that so we can get Art the Clown references in this podcast finally. Again, I also just want a 45-minute episode of only montages of these four. If we could get a 45-minute episode of just them, I don't know, walking down Rodeo, going tie shopping. Maybe they go onto a payphone and they make funny phone calls to the police.
Payphone.
A payphone.
Papaya phone.
It's a me, a payphone. Wahoo! This podcast is off the. We are timed.
And I'm over here, and I'm Luigi.
Ooh, boy. Ray gets on PJ's shoulders. Shades of the chicken fight takedown over the top rope last week, which I cannot explain any clearer. Go back and check out that episode. Johnny distracts the ref while PJ pulls Ray off of his shoulders, throws him in the air, and then as Ray's coming down, just kicks him in the fucking nuts.
Yeah.
This is next level offense. I love to see it. Jack tags in, does the shooting star off of Ray, stands on Ray, then hits the shooting star. Goes for the cover, gets a 2 count. I swear no ref can count to 3. Ray's like dragging himself to the corner because he needs to tag out. And instead he just like, Jack starts pulling Ray back to the middle and like screaming in his ear, I think I can. I think I can.
So good.
Fucking menace, Jack Evans. I love him.
And then he says, no, you can't.
Tags in Johnny. By the tilt-a-whirl power slam onto Ray, or the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker onto Ray, Ray has been grounded. Like he cannot establish any sort of aerial offense right now. We get one guy in the crowd screaming, I love you, Jack. Woo! Before Johnny makes a foolish mistake, he tries to powerbomb Rey Mysterio. I wouldn't do that. You're going to get DDT countered before Ray hot tags in Puma.
No. Have we gotten to the part where Evans stands on Mysterio and does a flip again?
I might have missed the second time he does that. I have the time he does that, and then he goes into the, I think I can.
Okay, so before that, he like dusts off Ray's chest. Like he goes, like he's cleaning it off, then steps on it, and then does the backflip.
I missed the wiping down the plate before you step up. That's, he's such a piece of shit.
It's so good.
He's so good. That's why that one guy in the crowd screams, I love you, Jack. I don't blame him. It's just funny because it's like right as everyone's dying down. Like, he timed it. He's probably one of those guys that comes to the temple a couple of times. Like, he's gotten the ticket a few times. He knows the energy. He knows when, like, as people are starting to die down from a chant, there's going to be this one perfect window where whatever weird bullshit you say, at least might not make it to TV, but it will get picked up by the mics.
I wonder if they could do something, or I wonder if it's not Jack Evans he's saying that to. Maybe on his iPod, iPod Touch, he's watching Titanic, and it's at the end, he's like, I love you, Jack! Maybe Johnny Depp was in attendance, dressed as Jack Sparrow, and he's like, I love you, Jack!
He's just with a mirror, he's looking to himself.
Oh, dang. Or it's that spooky skeleton man, and he's like, I love you, Jack.
Yeah.
Or he's an alcoholic.
Or he loves masturbating.
Oh, damn. And he's just in the middle of the temple cranking it. He's underneath the mat. That's his kink.
Yeah, we'll never know, because if we ever get another guest on this show from Lucha Underground, we cannot ask them this. This cannot be what the podcast is to them.
I think there's a few that I'm like, I think we could get away with that.
There's probably more than a few. God, a lot of silly bastards in this world, and I love you all. Puma gets the hot tag. The heroes are starting to take over. Puma's taking over. Eventually, he's going for a suicida to the outside. He gets cut off. Thankfully, Dragon is there, and he starts to back up. We are beginning a pile of bodies. after PJ lands the crossbody to the floor, this is a full, by definition, pile of bodies. Jack single leg dropkicks Ray, who's trying to jump on the pile. Instead, Jack is going to show us the greatest thing we've ever seen in our lives. But he gets cut off of the top rope by Puma, who then superplexes Jack Evans onto the pile of bodies.
So he's not wrong.
At all. And thank you, Jack.
Yeah,
you were right.
He did it.
I love you, Jack.
We also missed in the corner, Evans gets pummeled and beat down. And then there's this 3-way kick between all of them, 2 of them on the outside of the ring and then 1 on the inside. They all just kick Jack at the same time from different angles.
Which is beautiful. I was gonna say something about how my 3 cousins kicked alcoholism. They all kicked Jack at the same time.
Ooh.
But that's really more sad. Beautiful, but sad than funny.
Oh, here's an alt to a joke, or there wasn't a joke, but pile of bodies sounds like Sean's dating life now, babe.
I want to go. All right. I don't realize how much I hate talking about my dating life on podcasts until you bring it up.
You love to, because I'm being a little scamp about it. If we're really seriously talking about being NATO and shit, then it's fine.
It's E&M. Stop.
EMF, eat my fuck, Gigi Allen style.
True. Puma wants to finish Jack off with the 630 splash, but the teammates pull Jack out of the ring. Puma lands on his back and says, ow. Then they throw Jack on top of the ring again so that he can hit Puma with his own 630 splash. Puma kicks out after a long 2.
Vampiro then says, love him or hate him, Jack's fighting. And it's yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Jack's brilliant. And it's funny how much he does throw his body. He talks a lot of shit and then he gets his ass kicked. But then he throws you the 630 out of nowhere and you're like, God damn it, Jack Evans. For being a silly little bastard, you're really good at this.
It's like me and rapping. People are like, oh no, he's a silly little guy, but he's very good at this.
That's very true. That's, wow. You're the Jack Evans. You invented Lucha Libre.
I didn't. That was Jack Evans.
You're the Jack Evans of hip hop.
Okay, I don't want that.
Neither do I. So we're going to...
Me saying I'm the blank of hip hop, unless it's I'm the insignificant crumb of hip hop. That's the only thing I can say.
Calling you the Jack Evans of hip hop is not far off from the insignificant crumb of hip hop. Not that Jack Evans the character, very specifically, not the wrestler. Yes. God, he's so fucking good.
I might take on that moniker, the insignificant crumb of hip hop.
The insignificant crumb is powerful.
Oh yeah. That's what I call our crumb, the insignificant crumb. Fuck that dude.
Yeah. Ugh. I was excited to see Cool World for the first time, and I don't think it wasn't fun. Cool World was not great.
Is that the Steve Buscemi movie?
No, am I thinking of is Robert Crumb the guy that did Fritz the Cat, the animator?
I think so, but he wasn't I think he just wrote that. I think Ralph Bakshi did the actual thing.
I'm thinking of Ralph Bakshi. Thinking of Ralph Bakshi.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
They ran in the same camps, I believe.
Oh, I'd buy it. Fucking douchebags being douchebags.
So real quick about Cool World. Cool World's the movie with sexy lady and Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What's her? Wow. Sorry. Yeah. I'm mad I can't remember her name. But yes, it is the movie. It's fine. It's not.
Real quick, Fritz the Cat was created by R. Crumb, but the movie was animated by Ralph Bakshi.
Oh, shit. Okay. Huh. I never knew that. I always thought they were the same person.
Oh, no.
I got to focus. We have 2 more, match and a half, less than a match and a half to get through.
Yeah.
I need to not be so shocked that R. Crumb and Ralph Bakshi are different people. It makes sense. They are different names.
And I'm real quick on Cool World. It sucks. That's why I haven't seen it. It seems like it will be great, but the only reason I know about it, or especially Nicole knows about it, as, that movie that's constantly on the back of old comic books.
Which makes sense. I can see that being the market. It looks like it would be cool, you're right, and then you find out, it is also boring. Everything else I say about this, and it's boring, especially in the third act. But it felt like Ralph Bakshi was like, hey, you know what really gets my wiener hard? The fact that if my animations came to life and I were their god. Like, it feels way, like, it doesn't feel personal. It feels like a diary without feeling personal, which is the worst kind of, like, sharing too much in your art.
That's like diarrhea instead of diary.
There you fucking go.
Don't want to be sharing diarrhea.
Yeah, and it's boring. How do you make diarrhea boring? I don't know, but Cool World found a way.
Diarrhea.
Dragon slips out of the Moonlight Drive. Taya distracts the referee. Johnny kicks Dragon in the nuts.
No.
Last week, these guys also got kicked in the nuts a bunch. It's a problem. And Puma just can't stand it anymore. He gets in the ring. The ref tries talking him out. You gotta go. You gotta go. Johnny calls Puma crazy. And that's like, and it's pretty much gaslighting him. Just like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. Get out of here. And the gaslighting is too much. Puma kicks Johnny in the nuts. And the referee has no right. What can he do? He has to disqualify the team. Match ends 9 minutes 43 seconds, which because it doesn't happen a lot. Usually matches. Well, no, it happens more. It happens less than it was happening in WWE, but more often than I'd like for these matches to end in like disqualification and harumph. There's nothing settled. Everyone's in the ring. Johnny calls Puma a loser. You're a loser again. Before Puma throws a super kick at Johnny, who dodges, and instead Taya, she gets all that super kick, starts screaming, "You hit a woman?" And it's like, this is Lucha Underground. There's no gender, different divisions. Everyone's all fighting each other. But I'm excited to see these two teams fight again.
I'm so excited because it's the Dark Prince of the Jungle is emerging. Puma is becoming a little edgier. He's like, oh, if you guys are going to constantly fight dirty, then I'm going to fight dirty as well. I screamed, hell yeah, Puma, when he kicked him in the nuts. This is what should be happening. If the fucking refs, I'm calling you guys out. If you're not focused on the entirety of the entire thing, dick kick should be allowed if you're allowing other people to do it through your negligence, refs.
James, be careful. Our only guest so far has been wonderful, kind referee, Justin Bourdette. Thank you so much again for being on our show. If he were the person, who was it, Rick Knox? I think it was Marty.
Okay, if he were in this reffing how he did, I would say the same thing to him. Maybe always keep stay in a corner so you can see if you're needing to investigate something that's not even a part of the match right now. It's outside of the ring. Or say, hey, security, throw that person out. They're fucking with the match.
James, I don't disagree with you, but for legal purposes, I do need to distance myself from this.
Oh my God. But I'm glad Puma's stepping up saying, fuck you, Dick Kick City, get with me. Hey.
Hell yeah. We cut to Matanza's cell after the match. Matanza's just sitting there in his attic cell. Dragon Azteca Jr. storms in. Fuck that match. His balls hurt. He's gonna kill this motherfucker who killed Dragon Azteca Sr. When Black Lotus appears behind him, and she cannot let Dragon do whatever he came here to do. Dragon asks why. The monster, Matanza Cueto, killed her parents, their teacher. Black Lotus corrects him. She says Dragon Azteca killed her parents. It's interesting. She doesn't specify junior or senior. She just says Dragon Azteca killed my parents.
Which is weird. I thought she knew that was a lie.
Unless she's performing in front of Matanza.
Oh, yeah, that could be right. Oh, never mind. I have no issues with this now.
Yeah. So, he says, Dragon Azteca Jr. says he wouldn't do that. They fight. Matanza comes closer to the bars. Black Lotus literally throws him out of the door. Says, sometimes the truth hurts. You know that's not true. Dragon Azteca Jr. woefully leaves as Matanza squeezes his bars.
I was chanting, feed that head. Feed that head. What if Azteca just got his head eaten too?
What if Grace Slick from Jefferson Airplane just came in when Matanza was eating Bale's head and started seeding one pill makes you larger, and then the rest of the song until she gets to feed your head, and then I would be very happy because I know who Grace Slick is, and then everyone else watching this in 2015 will be like, the fuck, why isn't this Nickelback? Who is this guy?
I love Nickelback.
Guys, Jefferson Airplane's pretty cool too.
I don't even know who like, you play a Nickelback song, and I'm like, that's Nickelback? Same with Coldplay.
I'm like legit. So when I was gaming with my brothers last night, and they're like excited about a Creed concert coming to town.
POD, baby.
I didn't realize Creed was back so hard. Good for you, Creed. We're waiting for POD though. That's right, James.
Oh, I thought they were the same band.
God damn it.
Hey, any band under the light of Christ is the same to me, brother. AKA, no thank you.
Amen to me. Unless
it's the Bible Man band.
All right. I'm absolutely not engaging with Bible Man right now. Lucha Underground Championship match. It is Cage versus Matanza with Dario. Cole. Oh my gosh. I wrote this in the notes. I called Mad Striker Michael Cole. Anyway, Striker, you could list all of Cage's stats and accomplishments and training from legends like Canyon and Black Magic, Norman Smiley. You can list all that all you want. All I need to know to love this man is in the way Melissa Santos says, from the 559. It's very good. I don't know if they've started dating yet, but it's very sweet. I don't know. What do you want from me? I'm a romantic at the end of the day. This match overall to me is very interesting in that Cage, with like this very shrewd, immediate cash-in of the Gift of the Gods title. The Gift of the Gods title is the secondary title Cage won last week. You cash it in, you get a championship match the next week. The thing is, that belt can be challenged for. You can lose that Gift of the Gods belt. So it makes sense to cash it in immediately before you can lose it. But the thing is, there is some, for lack of a better word, magic or fighting spirit to building the prestige of the Gift of the Gods title by defending before you cash it in. Mm-hmm. It's one of the themes of Lucha Underground, where you can be very pragmatic and very, like, the things you do make logical sense, but if you're not really honoring the spirit and the magic, you're going to get hit in the face by a dragon wielding nunchucks.
Oh.
Like, that's kind of the theme, I think, by cashing it in immediately. That's what Cage is missing out on. Because Matanza has beaten every previous Lucha Underground champion. That's a lot of fighting spirit magic he has going into this match.
Yeah. And on the way down the steps as they're introducing Matanza, Stryker says, all have fallen at the hands of that man. Vampiro should have said Dario? And then Stryker goes, no, I'm talking about Matanza.
And he's like, oh, you haven't seen the contracts I saw Dario signing these guys. Hey-yo.
The hand that wields the pen is stronger than that of the sword.
Yeah, and the hand that wields the wiener is mine. I'm jacking it, baby.
Oh, I thought you were jacking, the other kind of jacking.
Drinking Jack Daniels until it's a problem?
No, just really being into Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm jacking over here, guys.
If I'm jacking anyway, it's that I'm really into Jack Evans.
Yeah, but I'm more of that like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac guy, so of course I love me some Jack Skellington.
Oh, man. See, and that's my problem, is that I'm all that Johnny the Homicidal Mundo kind of guy.
In my wedding proposals, it will say... Murdered. What?
Mm-hmm. What? I want to be murdered by Johnny Mundo.
Oh, okay. Well, in my wedding, in my wedding, what are those things? I was on a roll and then you had to say something underneath. Vows, thank you.
There you go.
In my wedding vows, it will say, I'm so glad I found my Sally. And Nicole will go, off. This is called off, you sick fuck. Like I finally found my Harley Quinn. And I go, no, in this scenario, I'm Poison Ivy, not the Joker. And she says, oh, okay, yeah, we're scissoring later.
I like that, it's not a real James written vow unless at some point Nicole throws up at least a little in their mouth.
Yeah, some hot water.
Yeah. Vampiro's No, I'm the poison ivy. Oh, okay then. I like that. Vampiro speculates the brainwashing of Matanza for shiny things as we get into this glorious exchange of beef. It is just two big fucking dudes really slapping the shit out of each other until Cage does Cage. Some of the crispest execution of lucha libre technical combos like out there. He wheelbarrows himself into a wrist drag, into a head scissors, Matanza out of the ring, tope con giro to flatten Matanza. And it's so fun to hear the audience not just cheer, but you know there's some in the temple who might not be super familiar with 200, I think 90-pound Cage they build him as.
Yeah.
Huge dude. This big dude doing some of the most agile and like lithe, high-flying athletic techniques. So you hear them gasping while they're also cheering, and you just hear the holy shit chant start up. And I'm like, God fucking damn it.
It's real good.
Very good. It's really good. Cage from the top rope, Arihara moonsault to Matanza to the floor. Cage is hungry. He gets this buckle bomb off of the barricade. He is like, not only is he hitting all these beautiful high-flying techniques, he's also a fucking machine. He's brutal in this match. Cage starts pulling back the protective padded mats to reveal the less protected, unpadded mats on the floor underneath. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things, if you're going to pull them, it doesn't always have to be this way and it works, it's good. But there's part of me that's, whenever I don't see hardwood floor or cement underneath the mats, I get a little disappointed. I think it's because I've been trained. I've been trained by big wrestling television.
I remember when I saw at JCW the boogeyman there, he peeled back and it was just covered in night crawlers.
Oh my gosh. At some point we might have to do just episodes of JCW.
Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, I have a better idea of what I want us to do next. We'll talk about that later, though.
Okay, JCW at the Modern Exchange. We could do that app. Boy, was it poorly recorded, though.
Oh, no, my favorite. Matanza recovers. Dario's yelling, break his head, as Matanza throws a clothesline to the back of Cage's head before the gut-wrench suplexes come in. Cage escapes, but ultimately is caught in this German suplex that I swear it has the kind of thud like the snare drum from Saint Anger. Shouts out to Lars Ulrich. Real sickening thud on this German suplex there.
And it's around this time Stryker asks Vampiro, hey, you've been in stuff like this. How do you break up these mammoths on a warpath? And Vampiro doesn't even take a beat. He simply says, call 911.
I mean, what are you going to do? It's truly insane how little anyone can stop these two mammoths on warpath. It's, oh boy. Eventually, Matanza finally throws Cage into the ring just to choke him, and the crowd starts booing, and then he ground pounds, and the crowd boos even more.
Except there is a single woman whenever Matanza gets over screaming, go Matanza! I hope so bad that is a friend or a family member of Jeff Cobb, and they're just like, I love my friend! Yeah!
It's like, I don't know why this guy reminds me of Jeff Cobb so much. I sure hope he's not eating faces and murdering people.
They know kayfabe, okay? It's a friend who knows that's Jeff Cobb underneath.
I like to think that they don't know kayfabe, and actually they haven't spoken to Jeff Cobb in years after a very brutal fight that they were too proud to apologize for, and now they feel too ashamed to come back to it. But so something drew them to the temple, and they see this Matanza, and they're like, I don't know why, but it reminds me of my friend Jeff Cobb, who I miss so dearly. You know what? I'm cheering for this guy, Matanza. Matanza, I'm sorry I was too full of myself to apologize to Jeff Cobb. I wish he knew how much I missed him.
But this is when a witch turns them into a dog and throws them in the Dominator, so then Matanza will have to save them.
We've got so far without a Dominator reference. How could you?
And then Cage is like, you want to know what? It was technically me who created this foul thing by just existing. I'm going to help you too, Matanza. And they have to like go into like this witch hell. And it's just like DC death metal now.
I was picturing the Scorpion fight from the Mortal Kombat movie.
Ooh, yeah.
I like DC death metal, yeah.
Wait, which Scorpion fight?
Oh, when they get transported into the hell on stairs.
Okay. because there's also that forest one with like all the trees.
That's the scene they transition into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I swear, I was watching it recently. I think it's the Synchronicity 2 music video from The Police. It's the same thing, except it's on fire. Like this, it's the same set from that music video, except now it's on fire and Johnny Cage is here.
Ooh.
I don't have time to get into this conspiracy I have about where this set came from, but just know it runs deep. Come at me with my red thread someday. Cage is getting fired up. The temple roar to life as Cage lands repeated clotheslines in the corner. Matanza starts digging for an exploder suplex, pin attempt kick out. Matanza pump handle suplexes. It's insane how many suplexes Matanza has. Cage with a jawbreaker, schoolboy roll up. He's still doing a lot of like lightweight, fast things here. And it's like, it's good, but you got to get some power game in. And oh boy, does Cage get his power game in.
This is the first time of a Matanza fight that I'm like, oh shit, Matanza's going to lose. This was and it was a constant like, oh my God, Cage is going to do it. No, he kicked up. Oh wait, but he's going to do it again. No, another kick up. This truly was a roller coaster of a great ride.
It's wild. Cage hits a pump handle sit out X Factor. That is so many different move names all in one move name that like I wouldn't believe me if I was listening to this podcast either, dear listener. But it's what happened. I saw it. Believe me, trust me. There's another strike exchange before both fighters throw jumping pump kicks. They knock each other down.
I thought there was going to be a double count out. If that happened at this point in the match, I would have said this was a perfect match.
There's another double countout spot too. That like I'm like, if that happened there, like fair. This is crazy.
Because then Cage could come back as the only man who has any chance. We know he was this close. It's like when Nicole's playing Cuphead and she's just like getting shithoused on one of these bosses, then gets like this close. You see it at the end, almost there. She's like, no, next time I'm going to do it. I know for a fact. And then she does.
Hell yeah. It's like when me and my brothers would play games together. We was with switch controller on death if it was like a single player game, which is like if you die, you hand the controller to the next person. But every now and then, especially on boss fights, someone gets like that last sliver and you're like, you know what? You got the momentum. You got to ride it out. The second double down, by the way, comes like immediately afterwards where they just keep Germans. They can't stop Germans suplexing each other. Because I don't think we ever really did define it. From the back, hands around your opponent's waist, back arc to throw. And they just keep doing it. And it looks fucking so bad. Like, beautiful and great. But, like, it's a lot of weight coming down to your neck and shoulders. Vampiro is concerned about that the physical ring won't survive this. And he doesn't know how the two men are.
Speaking of suplexes, Jeff Cobb's Twitter bio is just suplex influencer.
He's not wrong. I do not disagree with that statement at all.
He's
and honestly,
good.
I think, Jeff, I thank you for being as suplex influencer as you are. And Cage for being as fucking Cage as you are. This match is so good. Matanza, Wrath of God, it gets escaped by Cage. Matanza ducks the first discus lariat, but doesn't duck the second discus lariat. We get a pinfall. Matanza kicks out at 2. Vampiro softly gasps, "No." And it was very sweet. I don't know. Dario's very intense. He tells his brother not to let him down. This is brutal. And it is so intense while neither man can barely stand up. To be that exhausted and to be this intense. It's funny because like, you know, your body, you can't do as much. You're slowed down, but it's all in the back of your eyes, the fire that's inside of you. Oh, fuck, man. This match is good.
In the back of my eyes is just a bunch of goo.
Mine too. That's why we're not in the temple. That's why we're not luchadors.
If there were fire in the back of my eyes, I better also have a skull up top because now I'm Ghost Rider.
God, I wish you were Ghost Rider so bad.
Oh, God, I'd have that cool-ass chain I could thwip you with or, like, crack a beer for you.
Ah, thank you. I would appreciate that. No, I'm a good guy. You don't gotta thwip me. I beat up villains with my bag of mashed potatoes. I could be your sidekick. bag of mashed potatoes boy.
Oh my, Sean, picture this. You talked about this briefly on the podcast, so I'm not revealing information.
I'm going to hate this. Go ahead.
It's New Year's Eve and you're crying at the annoyance and you're like about to open up another beer, but then you just see it whip and crack and then you turn over and it's me because it's Ghost Rider but in a Yogi Bear shirt. And you're like, yeah! And then tears, like dry up your tears with like your sleeves, but then I just like come up close and like warm them up and it just sizzles and I say, it's time to get on the open road.
And then it's you, me, and Son of Havoc traveling down the I-90. Oh, I love it.
And Cage is running saying, I like Marvel. And I say, get into DC first and maybe I'll scoop you in the sidecar.
Wow. Here's the thing. I picture that wherever we go, though, the reason we let Cage ride with us is that he never stops running.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're like on a full-blown motorcycle, the three of us, you, me, and Son of Havoc, and it's just Cage running the entire time until we get to New Orleans. And we're like, God, why is your cardio so good for a big man? How can you do everything? And he's like, I'm a machine.
I say, Sean, dress up like Wolverine. Machine, you're the Incredible Hulk. And who is the other? Son of Havoc.
Son of Havoc.
I guess you're Spider-Man. We are the new Fantastic Four.
Actually, can Son of Havoc, I don't know why, can he just be Stan Lee?
Actually, Son of Havoc would be, he's more Wolverine-esque, so he's Wolverine and you're Spider-Man.
No, I just want to be Stan Lee.
No!
I want to stand in the back and go Excelsior and say, I'm very proud of you boys, and then kiss them on the forehead.
You could be that as Spider-Man. That's breaking the fourth wall like he does.
He doesn't have a mouth hole in the mask. You can't do a good forehead kiss as Spider-Man.
Oh, then you hang upside down, pull it off a little, then kiss him on the forehead.
Get that Kirsten Dunst.
And then a bunch of small soldiers start running at you.
Also, real quick, I was also going to say, and I know it's you because Ghost Rider is wearing a Yogi Bear t-shirt.
Oh, you were going to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's, oh my gosh.
And the same red pants but it's not the same red pants that I always wear. I just have multiple pairs of the same red pants.
You got that Doug Funny Pants style. I respect it. Hell yeah. Fans start clamping in rhythm with Cage. It's a Terminator-like rhythm. It's the... I'm not going to do it. It's good. And it's getting there. Cage hits this Alabama slam to standing tuck and moonsault, pin for two. There's this cradle backdrop that Matanza lands, pin for two. Matanza slips out of a powerbomb, belly-to-belly suplex, sit out powerbomb, another fucking two. That's when the This Is Awesome chants start up. This is Matanza's second attempt at the Wrath of Gods. Gets countered again by an inside cradle, pin for two. Lucha Destroyer, Cage's specialized F5, pin for two. Cage takes down the singlet straps. That's right, machine titties out. We get the SoCal kick combo. I call it the SoCal kick combo. I see it from a lot of that SoCal indie scene of the time that ends in the super kick and it's designed to like create space so that he could really wind up for this discus lariat. But if you create space, you give your opponent time and opportunity. And in Matanza's case, he takes that time and opportunity to slip the lariat, hook and lift Cage for a final Wrath of God slam. Pins. Matanza defeats Cage after a startling and violent as fuck 13 minutes and 30 seconds.
So good. This was so awesome that I had to go to Twitter to talk about it. And then Cage responds saying, one of my faves.
And Cage, respectfully, yeah, mine too. Oh my gosh, yeah, mine too.
So, man, this episode ruled so hard. Wasn't even stoned while watching it. Just front to back amazing.
Yeah, this is one of those. Every now they do such a good job, and it usually is every other week of like, here's a very story-driven episode, here's a very match-driven episode. And it's funny because the story-driven stuff we got feels very important. Mm-hmm. Like it's shit. Dragon has access to Matanza.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And now we see that Black Lotus, her official title in the temple, is protecting the monster Matanza.
Ooh.
She's like his bodyguard now. And on top of all that, we got the trios match, as much as it ended in like disqualification, is there to set up the third, was insane. Like truly awe-inspiring. And fucking Cage versus Matanza is like everything I wanted to be and so much more.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Cage is one of yours favorites. Mine, goddamn too. I'm getting emotional from wrestling. We gotta wrap this one up before I start crying like this was the Annoyance Theater. And if you don't catch that reference, make sure you check out our backlog. We're on YouTube now, baby. We're on all of your favorite listening services. You could hear us talk about me crying, James loving Batman, and occasionally professional wrestling over here on Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling on the Marshlight Media podcast feed. You could also check me out at twitch.tv/Goose Von Kaiser, where I'm really bad at video games, but I'm really fun at being bad at video games.
Hey guys, head over to twitch.tv/mostly speaking Sentai, where I'm going to be trying to do multi-weekly streams. The thing's called $30 a day because that's how much I need to survive. I need to make $30 in a single day, every day average. You know, when I go to Chicago Comics, that pretty much covers most of a week. It covers a few days, but I'm going to be doing the stuff that my creative endeavors that I do to try to make that goal. The first one will be this Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. So if you're listening the day this is released, I will be editing an episode of the Patreon, the Critters 3 episode of that. So one, you'll learn how to edit podcasts. If you have questions or anything, you'll be able to see what I do. You'll be able to ask me questions, and you'll just be able to see me do this. And head over to patreon.com/MLM Pod, where for $5 a month, you help me get that $30 a day goal. So please check that out all this month. It's nothing but critters. Lil Corey and I going through every single movie, culminating in what I'm hoping will be just a watch along of the fifth one, preferably stoned. So check that out. It's a great time. But $10 patrons also get shout outs on every single free feed podcast. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z. the Waz, Orion, Jordan B. the Chaos Witch, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jake, Steve Barnes, a sweet child of time, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, that fed, twitch.tv/Core Winning, it's Corwin from This Movie's Gay, and finally from Formulaic, a podcast in script writing, and the Rom Complex, who's currently doing a bunch of Mary-Kate and Ashley movies for March. Oh boy, it's twitch.tv/R2Shelby2. And April 19th, The Dragon and the Monster drops everywhere, wherever music is found, including Bandcamp. Head over to marshlandmonster.bandcamp.com, where you can get my entire discography post 2020 for $20, under that even. But I've been James.
Whoa. I've been Sean, and this has been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. Purple Prancer forever, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.